Hello, my name is Ashish Singh and I've been teaching maths for 3.5 years in various institutes like Mahindra Education Private Limited, Time Education Center, and presently I'm teaching in Career Power, Mukherjee Nagar. So here's our first question of number system. I'll be taking a number when divided successively by 4 and 5 leaves remainder 1 and 4 respectively. When we divide a number successively by 4 and 5, there is successive division of a number. When we divide a number successively by 4 and 5 leaves remainder 1 and 4 respectively. When we divide a number successively by 4 and 5, we will getting successive remainders 1 and 4 respectively. When this number, when it is divided by 5 and 4, the respective remainders will be. When we divide the same number by 5 and 4, what will be our respective remainders? So I'll be taking an example to make this question understand. What is this question asking? I have to take an example to make you understand this question clearly. Okay, so let's take an example 619, and I'll be dividing this number successively by 7, 5 and 3. I'll be dividing this number by 7, 5 and 3, and we'll get the idea that what is successive division and what is successive remainders. After knowing what is successive division and what is successive remainders, we'll be doing this question. Okay, let's see example. Okay, 619. If we divide 619 successively by 7, 5 and 3, how can we do this? So I have taken a easier route to make you understand this example. Okay, so I take this 619 here and I'll be dividing this 619 by 7, 5 and 3 successively. I have to first divide this number by 7. So let's take 7 here. 7, 8, 56. Okay, the remainder will be 5, 59, 7, 8 is 56, 88 is the quotient here. Okay, 7, 8, 56, the remainder will be 3. I'll be taking the remainder adjacent to number only. Okay, now this 88 quotient will be divided by 5 now. Okay, 5, 17 is 85 and the remainder will be 3. Okay, now our quotient is 17. Now divide this quotient by 3. 3, 5, 15 and the remainder will be 2. So 7, 5 and 3 are the successive divisors by which we are dividing 619, 88 and 17. This is how we can divide a number successively. 3, 3 and 2 are our successive remainders. 3, 3 and 2 are our successive remainders. Okay, and 5. Here 5 is our final quotient. Here 5 is our final quotient. But it does not mean this 619 is the only number which will give 3, 3 and 2 as our successive remainders when divided by 7, 5 and 3. There are many numbers which will give same remainders after dividing successively by 7, 5 and 3. How can I say this? If I take 5 final quotient as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6, I'll be getting same remainders after dividing a number by 7, 5 and 3. Okay, let's take the smallest number which will give same remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3. Let's take the final quotient as 0. And we are dividing this number, the number by what? Successively divide by 7, 5 and 3. So I have to divide successively by 7, 5 and 3. And what successive remainders I'll be getting? 3, 3 and 2. I have taken the final quotient as 0 so that I can get this number as the smallest number which will give 3, 3 and 2 as successive remainders. Okay, so 3, 0, as we can see here, 3, 5, 15 plus 2, 17. 3, 5, 15 plus 2, 17. 5, 17 is 85 plus 3, 88. 7, 88, 616 plus 3, 619. So we can get this 619 by doing the reverse process also. Okay, so I will be applying this reverse process here to get our smallest number. Okay, which will give same remainders, same successive remainders after dividing successively by 7, 5 and 3. Okay, so 3, 0, 0, 0 plus 2, 2. 5 2 is 10, 10 plus 3, 13. 7, 13, 91, 91 plus 3, 94. So 94 is our smallest number which will give 3, 3, 2 as successive remainders after dividing successively by 7, 5 and 3. So we can get here that 619 is not the only number which will give 332 as successive remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3 successively. There are lots of numbers which will give same successive remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3. So I have derived a formula here to get all those numbers which will give same remainders, same successive remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3. What is that formula? Any number, okay, LCM of 7, 5 and 3 plus smallest number, what the smallest number do we get? 94. LCM of 7, 5 and 3, LCM of 7, 5, 3 is what? 105. K is the multiple of LCM, okay, smallest number is 94. Okay, this is the form of number which will give same remainders, same successive remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3. Okay, if we put k equal to 0, then this will become 0 and our number will come 94. 94 is the number which will give the same successive remainders. Okay, but if I put k is equal to 1, then 105 plus 94, 105 plus 94 is 199. 199 is another number which will give same successive remainders after dividing successively by 7, 5 and 3. But if I take k is equal to 2, then 105 into 2, 210, 210 plus 94, 210 plus 94, 304, and 304 is the same number which will give 332 as successive remainders after dividing by 7, 5 and 3 successively. Same, in the same manner, if we take k is equal to 5, 105 into 5, 525 plus the smallest number 94, what we will getting? 619, and 619 is the same number as I have taken as an example by which we are dividing, from which 619 we are dividing this number by 7, 5 and 3 and we are getting the successive remainders 3, 3 and 2. Okay, this is the same number I have taken as an example. Okay, so I think it's clear now. And now we can move towards our question. What's our question is asking to us? Let's see. Okay, see, a number when divided successively by 4 and 5 leaves remainder 1 and 4 respectively. Okay, 4 and 5 successively. So we are dividing a number by 4 and 5 successively, and our successive remainders are what? 1 and 4. We don't know the number, so I have taken the final quotient as 0. I can take final quotient as 1, 2, 3, any, we'll get the answer same. We'll getting the answer same. It doesn't matter what final quotient we will take here. Okay, I'll be taking another example to make you understand that it can be any number. Okay, 5, 0, 0, 0 plus 4, 4. 4, 4 is 16, 16 plus 1, 17. Then the smallest number which will give the 1 and 4 successive remainders after dividing by successively by 4 and 5 will be 17. 17 is the smallest number. Okay, so if we divide the same number 17 by 5 and 4, what will be our respective remainders? So I'll be dividing this 17 by 5 and 4. Okay, if I divide this 17 by 5, 5, 3 are 15, the remainder will be 2. If I divide 3, we cannot divide 3 by 4, so I will be taking 0 here. 4, 0, 0, 0 plus 3. So our respective remainders when we divide a number by 5 and 4 will be 2 and 3 respectively. So answer will be 2 and 3, 2, 3. The answer of this question is 2, 3. I can also take 1 here. And the answer will be same, 2 and 3. Let's see. Okay, if I take 1 here, final quotient as 1. 5 1 is 5 and our respective remainders are 1 and 4. 5 1 is 5, 5 plus 4, 9. 4 9 is 36, 36 plus 1, 37. So another number which will give 1 and 4 as successive remainders after dividing successively by 4 and 5 is 37, as there are lots of numbers which will give same successive remainders by dividing successively by 4 and 5. Okay, so if I take 37 as that number, answer will be same, 2, 3. C, 37. Okay, and I will be dividing 37 successively by 5 and 4. 5 7 is 35, remainder will be 2. 4 1 is 4, remainder will be 3. See, our successive remainders are still 2, 3. So we can understand here that our successive remainders will be same Either I take 0 here, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, it doesn't matter, the answer will be same. Okay, so the answer of this question will be 2, 3. I hope this question is clear. Okay, let's move on to next question. See, what is our second question is asking? Here's our second question. If the product of factors which are at positions at 19th and 35th from the starting results in the number itself, then find how many factors does n are there. Okay, so what is this question is saying? Let's understand by taking example. If I have a number 15, what are the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5 and 15. Okay, so the second number, the second factor from the starting and the third factor from the starting, if we multiply both these factors with each other, we will getting the number itself. So in the same way, the question is saying if the factors starting from the starting, 19th from the starting and 35th from the starting, if you multiply both these factors, we will get the number itself. We will get the number itself. If we multiply 19th factor from the starting and 35th factor from the starting, will get the number itself. So we'll understand what is asking by taking another example, so we'll get the answer easily. It may seem difficult by saying it. It may seem difficult, but if you know the concept behind this question, it will become much easier for us to solve it. Okay, let's see. If we take an example 72 and another example 36. See, there are two types of numbers. One number is ordinary number. The ordinary number will always have even number of factors, but if a number is perfect square will always have odd number of factors. We will see that. Perfect square 1, 16 is perfect square, 1, 2, 4, 8, and what are other factors? 16. Though the number of factors of 16 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 factors of 16. The 5 are odd number. 5 is odd number. That means the perfect square will always have odd number of factors. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18. Let's take another example. 24, 36. So these are the factors of 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. These are the factors of 36. How many factors does 36 have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 factors of 36, and 9 is an odd number. So a perfect square always have odd number of factors. If you multiply 1 and 36, first factor from left side and first factor from right side, will get the number itself. If you multiply second number from left side and second number from right side, 2 and 18, will get 36 itself. Okay, if you multiply 3 and third number from right side, we get the 36 itself. If you multiply 4 and 9, we'll get the 36 itself. That means the same number from left side and same number from right side, if we multiply both the numbers, we'll get the number itself. Okay, we'll take another example of it. In the same manner, we'll take an example 72. What are the factors of 72? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36, 72. It's an ordinary number. Then find the total number of factors. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 factors. 12 is an even number. So an ordinary number has even number of factors, and a perfect square has odd number of factors. So see, if you multiply first number from left side and first number from right side, we will get the number itself. If you multiply second number from left side and second number from right side, you will get the number itself. If you multiply third number from left side and third number from right side, 24 3 is 72 itself. So what do we get here? If you multiply nth number from left side and nth number from right side, and we multiply both those numbers, we'll get the number itself. Okay, so it's clear, I think. Let's move on to our question. Now we can understand, we can make the question understand easily. What is our question asking? Our question is asking, if we multiply the 19th factor and 35th factor from the starting, results is the number itself, then find the number of factors of the n. Okay, what are the numbers of factors of n are there? So let's see, if there are factors n 19th from the starting, okay, and 35th from the starting, if we multiply both these numbers, we'll get the number itself. So 19th from the starting, that means this factor will also 19th from the right side. If it is 19th from the left side, then 35th factor must be 19th from the right side, 19th from the left side, and 19th from the right side will give the product of these numbers, will give the number itself. That means the number of factors which are on the right side of 35th factor is 18, and the number of factors which are from starting to there are 35. The number of factors which are from starting to there 35th are 35, and the remaining factors are 18. 35 plus 18 will get 53. That means our total number of factor is 53. That means our total number of factor is 53.